Feast TV is brought to you with the support from Missouri Wines, Caldy's Coffee, Old Time Produce, and the Raphael Hotel.
Let's indulge in some sweet frozen treats. I'm Cat Neville, and this is Feast TV. Sweet frozen treats are a hallmark of summertime fun, and in this episode of Feast TV, our first stop is in Steelville, Missouri, at an old-fashioned soda fountain. They are serving up a taste of nostalgia.
I'm the manager of the soda fountain in Steelville, Missouri. Steelville is about 8 miles south of Cuba, Missouri, right off I-44. The soda fountain was established in 1905. It was known as the Steelville Drugstore, and all those drugstores used to have soda fountains in them. The years that the soda fountain was hopping, so to speak, was in the 20s and the 30s. There were some 50s and the 70s. And then there was a quiet period after that and remained closed for quite some time. And then the restoration of the soda fountain probably started about 2010. We basically tried to keep everything authentic to its era. We've kept the original fountain, had to bring this original piece back to life. It does have the old-fashioned soda jerks, and one is for water and one is for the phosphate, and it's a refrigeration process. That's how you made the old elixirs and the fountain drinks. We're proud of the soda fountain girl. We call her the soda fountain girl. She is the Coca-Cola girl from 1942. She was deemed the most beautiful brunette in the world, and she had entered a contest, and that's what won her the title. The Coca-Cola gal's name is Nedra Sanders, and she was born and raised here and stayed here until she was about 10 years old. We would have believed that she came to the soda fountain as a little girl. Everything we try to do from scratch, what we call some of our premium flavors. They have actual homemade desserts that some chefs that are around town, as well as our own chef here, have made. I am making a brownie fudge sundae. This is one of our premium flavors. Homemade brownies with real chocolate, butter, and then we make the homemade fudge. We do have a flair from New Mexico. We call it the jalapeno apple crisp, but it actually has New Mexican hatch green chili. It has a little zing to it, but it's very, very popular. We have gooey butter cakes in St. Louis. It's known for their gooey butter cake. We've tried to emulate some of those that originated from St. Louis. Still do the old elixir drinks. You basically pour the phosphate in the old-fashioned glassware, then you add a scoop of the ice cream and you kind of mix it around. Some people like to add different flavors. A real popular one is the chocolate ice cream soda, and you basically just use chocolate syrup, a scoop of ice cream, and the phosphate, and it foams the old-fashioned way, sometimes overflowing. We also make banana splits. That's very popular. Your hot fudge sundae is basically your ice cream and your hot fudge. The hot fudge is made from scratch as well. Sometimes We will do an avocado lime shake. For an avocado lime shake, you basically take the avocados and you chunk them up, and then we squeeze lime, or we can do the lime syrup. And we just basically put that in with a little bit of milk and then your ice cream, and we shake it up in the machine. It's very good. And avocado is a fruit, so a lot of people don't know that, but it does make a great shake. Most importantly, we make sure that we make all our ice creams in-house. It's not frozen or brought in, so we use 14% milk fat, so cream of the crop, other than milking the cow. What I'm making here is a chocolate phosphate. And this is the fun part. You get to see this bubble. There you go.
This is Rio Syrup Company. We're located at 2311 Chestnut in St. Louis. Been in St. Louis since 1940. Been in this building about 30 years. We ship to all 50 states. We also do some export to about 12 different countries. 60 years you could get any syrup you wanted as long as it was in a gallon. Now we're doing full rounds, we do quarts, we do a 55-gallon barrel. Our business today is almost all shaved ice. The other half of our business is slush drinks. Snow cones is less than 10% of the business. We also make liquid color. At a diner, you get a check, and it's green and white or blue and white. We make that green for a company in Minneapolis. And there's one in Kansas City also. And also, we've shipped to a couple Hollywood studios red color for blood.
We have over 300 flavors, and of course cherry is by far #1, way, way, way ahead of all the rest of them. Vanilla is the second one because it mixes with other things. The syrups are certainly mostly used on snow cones and shaved ice, but a lot of carnivals take the syrup and mix it in with the funnel cake mix. How we develop the flavors and how you come up with ideas. One thing is through travel, and like we took a trip to Mexico and came home and made mojitos, except we made mojito syrups. We went to a wedding in Utah, and huckleberry was really big in Utah, so we came home and made huckleberry. And the whole dessert line, there's wedding cake and red velvet cake, creme brulee. A lot of times you'll blend things. We blended a lot of berry flavors and came up with an Ozark Mountain berry, which is good. Almost everybody has a mixture of red flavors, and we have that, we call it Wild Thing. Somebody gave me some salted caramels that were just fabulous, and I thought, oh, this definitely needs to go on a snow cone. So that's basically the ways that new flavors come about. And if anybody does call and ask if you have such and such a flavor, it might not be on our list now, but we will always do our best to try to come up with something that will work for them. We're so fortunate in St. Louis. So many of the stands do use Rio Syrup, which is awfully, awfully, awfully nice. And they can taste very different because 6 or 8 or 10 stands might buy Rio Cherry, but everybody's got a little different way to mix it. Tropical Mousse is one of the stands who is so, so, so nice to buy Rio. It's just such a wonderful place, and they do so many creative things with shaved ice and snow cones.
We've been making shaved ice for 20 years now. shaved ice is a block of ice that's spun against like a razor blade, so it shaves it off in really fine little flakes of snow. We started with Rio Syrup on day one, so we've been buying syrups from them for 20 years now. And the reason that we've stayed with them is that they have a really quality product and it's really consistent. We buy their concentrates and we mix our own syrup. Some of the ones that we blend ourselves are monkey snot. It's kind of like a sweet green apple. It's much better than it sounds. Motor oil is a big seller for us, and that's also a blend of some Rio ones. The younger the crowd, the more adventurous they are, usually.
May I have a medium volcano?
Yep. Here we have the Canine Cooler. This is the specialty dog snow cone we make ourselves. It's liver-based. As you can see, dogs love it. The Tomber family is really a genuinely nice, caring family, which is probably pretty hard to find in corporate America. For the owners of a worldwide company to be as connected and caring about their community and about their customers as the Tombers are is a pretty unusual thing. So if you really care about what you do and you want somebody that cares about what they do, then the Rio Syrup people are who you should go see.
Addie and I are going to go into the production facility and see how the syrup is made, so follow me.
We're using a bottling machine that is from the 40s, and it's the same system. It hasn't changed at all. So
this is from the 40s.
It's been around for a long time. It's bottled lots and lots and lots of syrup.
It's amazing. With me standing here, you can see just how big these vats are. And I mean, look at how deep and dark the color is. And the aroma, it literally smells like the most intense cherry flavoring you can imagine. It's really, really cool to get behind the scenes. What do you enjoy most about doing this work?
It really is fun. I hate to cook. I really don't enjoy cooking. But this is kind of fun. It's kind of like a chemistry experiment. It's kind of, working in a lab is kind of fun. And it's also fun to know that hopefully somebody's going to be enjoying a nice treat.
Tastes like summer. So I'm here at Paleterias Tropicana in Kansas City, Missouri. We're here on a Monday and it still is pretty crowded, but on the weekends there are 40-minute to 1-hour waits to get your hands on one of those sundaes, funnel cakes, popsicles. You were telling me a little bit about your family and the history and how this is a part of your culture. So give me some insight into how this kind of food really plays a role in Mexican cuisine.
In Mexico, this kind of concept is very popular, but in different ways. Like, for example, like ice cream bars and paletas, they sell it in the street. So me and my wife, we're talking about like, hey, there is a great opportunity to teach our culture for the Americans, how we can sell our own popsicles and ice cream.
So how long ago did the company start?
We started in 2004, so we have almost like 13 years in this kind of concept.
You and your wife founded the company, but now your daughter Jennifer is the president of the company. Tell me what it's like to work with your daughter and how the two of you collaborate.
So there is a good opportunity for her to take over the business. So that's what we are including her in all kind of activities that we have.
And so now I'm standing here with Jennifer at their brand new production facility. So before we go in, give me a primer on what specifically Mexican ice cream is, what makes them special.
Our ice cream and our popsicles are 100% homemade. Our popsicles, they are a traditional Mexican treat.
For someone who's never had one of these Mexican popsicles before, the flavors are not like your typical artificial grape flavor or cherry.
They're pretty different. We have our mango with chile and tamarindo, so you know, we have our little spices that we put in there that makes it unique.
And what has it been like for you to see this company grow? I mean, because you guys are exploding.
It's really overwhelming.
I can imagine that it would be. It's this tradition that your parents have brought with them, and it's something that they remember from their childhood, and they've made it part of your childhood, and then also for all the kids who get to come in. And I know that eventually you guys are going to have tours so that...
That's our main future goal here is, you know, kind of to give the kids an idea of how Mexican popsicles are made.
Can we go see how they're made?
Yeah, let's go.
This is the fun part.
Yeah.
So this is the first stop?
Yes, this is the first stop.
So I love the fact that you're starting with whole fruit. You're not getting in boxes of pre-cut up fruit. Why do you focus on everything being whole?
Everything is 100%, you know, here.
And it's the authentic flavor. Like this is how it's made in Mexico.
This is how they make it in Mexico, and you know, just a tradition.
You're not cutting any corners?
Nope, not at all. Once we cut up our fruit, we go ahead and we just add water and sugar. Once it's all made, we just hurry up and pour it in there.
Wow, so it's really fresh.
Yeah, so everything is fresh.
So now he's going to be loading it into this, what looks like a deep freezer kind of.
Yeah, it has glycol in there, so that's what makes the popsicles frozen. This normally takes like about 20 to 25 minutes.
That's it?
To be done, yeah.
Wow.
So we take out at least like 10,000 popsicles a week.
10,000 a week? Mm-hmm. Well, especially when it's hot outside, like right now.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh my goodness, those are gorgeous. So this is pineapple with chile?
Yeah, and this one's the strawberry cream.
So what's the first treat you're going to show me?
We're going to show you the three Marys, the banana split, the sundae, and the mangoneada. You will see how we make it our own special tricks.
And I get to eat every single bite of it?
Absolutely.
All right.
Let's go.
What is the dish with the mango?
We call mangoneada. It's mango sorbet with a splash of chamoy. Chamoy is basically a little liquid, spicy flavors.
So how many locations do you have now?
We have 5 locations in Kansas and Missouri.
Did you ever think the company was going to be this big?
No, you know what? When we started, we started in a small store, and we never imagined that we were going to grow very fast.
Going back to when you were a kid, what are your first memories of tasting like Mexican ice cream and paletas that you wanted to bring to your customers?
That's funny because my first job, that was a popsicle man.
Really?
With a little push car.
When you were 7?
Oh yes, I remember that days. That was amazing. You know, I was thinking like in my mind, say, you know, one day I can have my own business. It's gonna be sell popsicles and ice cream.
And you did that?
And we did.
I'm so inspired by that story and all those amazing flavors. Let's head to the kitchen and make some boozy popsicles. Come with me. So popsicles are not just for kids, and I'm gonna show you how to make boozy cheesecake pops. That's right. And Norton is going to be the star of this recipe. So I'm gonna open this up. This is the Norton from Stonehill Winery in Hermann, Missouri. Norton, of course, is our state grape, and it is a perfect pair with blueberries because it has a wonderful jammy flavor. In this bowl, I have a pint of blueberries. I'm gonna add in about a cup of Norton. And then this is just some simple syrup. Simple syrup is made by adding equal parts of sugar to water, heating it up on the stove just until the sugar dissolves, and that's it. That's simple syrup. You can keep it very easily in a container in your fridge and it'll keep forever. All right, I'm going to use my immersion blender. It's actually really, really handy if you want to puree soups or stews or anything like that inside of a pot or a bowl. You don't have to get your food processor all dirty. All you do is put the blender in and let it do the work. All right, I think we're pretty well pureed. One could even argue that these popsicles are good for you because Norton has tons of antioxidants and so do blueberries. This is a large hunk of cream cheese, and I've put a little bit of milk in there so that when I whip the cream cheese, it actually does lighten because we want it to be soft enough that when we put it into our popsicle molds, it kind of easily gets down in there. So I'm just gonna whip this up until it is nice and soft. Now I'm gonna take about a cup and a half of heavy cream and sweeten it up with, I'm using date sugar. You can use regular granulated sugar, you can use brown sugar, you could even use honey if you wanted to. But if you're curious about date sugar, check out last season. We went down to Springfield and met the date lady. And date sugar is essentially just dried up dates that have been, pounded out into a powder. And so there is no refined sugar. It's all the natural sugars plus all of that great flavor. So it'll be a really nice match with the blueberries. So I'm just gonna whip this up until I get soft peaks. There we go. We're at soft peaks. Now, if you're looking for the recipe, if you want all of the measurements, just go to feastmagazine.com. In the Feast TV section of the website, you'll find this recipe along with all of the others featured in this season as well as last season. Now, I have my cream cheese mixture and my whipped cream mixture, and I am going to combine them. I'm going to transfer about half of the cream cheese mixture over to this bowl, and about half of the whipped cream mixture over to this bowl and just fold to combine. There we go. It's nice and smooth. Set that to the side. And the reason why you separate this out into two bowls is one is going to have chocolate added. This recipe is very easy to modify. You can use different fruit, different wine, you can use a different kind of sugar, you can drop in chocolate chips, you can do anything that would just kind of suit your taste, which makes it a lot of fun. I'm just chopping up some dark chocolate. The dark chocolate's gonna go really well with blueberry and Norton. That's all nicely combined. Now, instead of using popsicle molds, I'm using paper cups. This is an easy and inexpensive substitute. You can use big ones like this, or you can use small ones. It's really entirely up to you. But what's great about the paper cup, and you'll see this when I pull one out of the freezer because I made some the other day, is you can just tear it apart and there you have your popsicle. So to put these together, I'm gonna grab a few spoons and I'm just gonna layer each one of our ingredients. You want to put a couple spoonfuls of the Norton blueberry mixture in the bottom. Top with a bit of the chocolate cheesecake mixture. It's okay if it gets messy. Everything's going to freeze and taste delicious. And now the plain cheesecake. And just keep on going until you fill up the cups and run out of stuff. So all you have to do to finish these guys, take 2 popsicle sticks. You want to use 2 because this is pretty heavy. So you want to make sure that when you actually pop it out, when you're ready to enjoy it, you don't end up spilling it everywhere. Push your popsicle sticks almost all the way down to the bottom. Top with a little bit of tin foil to kind of seal it in. That's all you have to do. These are going to go in the freezer for at least 24 hours. You want to make sure that it's frozen solid. I'm going to go over to the freezer and grab one that I made the other night. So these have been in the freezer for a couple of days. And again, the beauty of using the paper cup is that all you have to do is tear it away. And there is your boozy cheesecake ice pop. How fun. It's a great way to use Norton and also treat your friends to something kind of fun on a hot summer day. So cheers to frozen treats. I'll see you next time.